so that looks like a good movie right here. Now I want to see that. Oh, hey. Well, this is Ian Noel Camalotis for Centertainment Media, and welcome to Here At. Okay, what movie am I going to see now? There's a lot of different ones I can see. So here I am at the AMC Theater at the New City area, where the main hub of the Chicago International Film Festival is taking place. Along with looking at here, the Music Box Theater, of course, for some of the premieres, the Gene Siskel Film Center, the Chicago History Museum, the Hamilton Park Cultural Center, the Logan Center for the Arts, and the National Museum of Mexican Art. These theaters altogether make up the many venues of this year's Chicago International Film Festival, especially celebrating its 60th year. Again, reminder, this is the oldest competitive film festival in North America. And it's a great way to end the year, especially going into Oscar season. So with the array of films that you get, anything from big Hollywood films all the way down to indie films to films that were made city and state for the state of Illinois or city of Chicago, to international films, so many films that you could take a look and view. What they've added over the last few years especially is some of the streaming services, so that if there's some films you want to stream, especially within the neighboring states here, you would be able to purchase some of those tickets online and be able to view those movies, so that you get a little bit of a taste of the film festival. But I'm here to show you what we've got in store. This year there's been a lot of great films already announced and a lot of nice and interesting films to check out. Just to give a little taste of what's going on this year, opening night is the movie The Piano Lesson by Malcolm Washington. For the centerpiece this year, Marielle Heller is going to be featuring her film Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams. And for closing night, it's Robert Zemeckis' film called Here, which is going to be hitting theaters not too long from now, starring Forrest Gump star Tom Hanks. Some of the other key films to look at are the films by director Kore-eda Hirokazu, who's got a few films that have been shown throughout the years at the Chicago International Film Festival that will be featured again, just as a viewing and be able to speak with audiences in terms of some of the insight of his films that he's shown over the years. Well, let's take a look at what else we've got this year. For the 60th Chicago International Film Festival, animated films in terms of full-length feature form seem to have made a strong presence, especially with two films that I saw here at the film festival. One, Memoir of a Snail by director Adam Elliott from Australia, a great stop-motion film that has great story, great acting in terms of voice acting. The set pieces are so amazing in terms of how it was put together. And all in all, it's one of those rarities of stop motion which really is very meaningful and impactful. And I actually feel that it's one of the best stop motion films I've ever seen.
It was a very simple approach in terms of all the materials were 4 things. I'm going to get one wrong even though it's only 4, it's late. Paint, wood, cardboard.
Paper, clay, wire, paint. Yeah, paper, clay, wire, paint. And wood as well.
Well,
so
wood's
5.
yeah.
But no fabric, no airbrushing.
Yeah.
We had a lot of no's. There's no green or blue in the film. Yeah. Too expensive.
Or pink.
Or pink.
You never remember pink. Yeah. So it was very limited. So the rules were limited, but in that way I think it actually pushed everyone to be more creative. And so we made the film. It took 16 weeks of pre-production to make the
83.
Well, to make everything with the sculptures and the set dresses.
200 characters?
200 sets, 7,000 snails.
7,000.
And then we shot the film over 32 to 33 weeks with 7 animators animating about 10 seconds a day, every day. So it's sort of I kept saying it's a marathon, not a sprint, which got very annoying, but it's a labour of love.
Yeah, there's days I wished I'd written a film about a minimalist.
Me too.
Yeah.
Another film that I saw, which is from Latvia, by director Glint Zilbalodis, is the animated film Flow. Interesting thing about this one, no dialogue whatsoever. Story about a cat who gets caught up in a boat in a storm and the travel and journey that the cat goes through along the way, meeting friends. And without dialogue, they were able to tell a story that was very engaging. The animation is very smooth and very beautiful, almost to a point of realism. It was one of those things that I felt were really, I'm watching a real live shot film as opposed to animation. Just animation alone is one of those key unique things. It is very difficult to put animated films together, and usually when you're at the Chicago International Film Festival, you usually see animation through the shorts, which this year there are 2 different shorts programs for animated films, so it shows that animation is growing and becoming more of a important thing to look at here at the film festival. Not that it wasn't in the past, but especially now it's one of those things that animated films found a place in terms of how equal their art is to all other types of filmmaking. This is my press badge. 60th anniversary of the Chicago International Film Festival. You know, looking back at this, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm celebrating about 15 years of coverage of this film festival. It's 15 years. I discovered it one day after work, many, many years ago, back in 2009. Jeez. And I just happened to stumble upon it, saw some interesting films. Didn't know there was a film festival going on downtown. Decided to take a look. Saw quite a few interesting films, including got to see Paranormal Activity before anybody else did, really. And that was back when I started helping out my friend on his news website, zextv.com. At the time, I was writing text articles for online, giving my reviews on movies as he asked me to be a movie critic. And over time, I felt that it would be better for me to speak my feelings through video. Over time, I got to grow, learn a little bit more about interviews, get a little bit of taste of it from conventions I'd gone to, but really trying to tackle getting to know somebody from some of the art that they do through the Chicago International Film Festival. And to think 15 years I've been doing this, and they're celebrating their 60th year, 6 decades. It says something for being the longest running competitive international film festival in North America. And reflecting back on it, I've seen so many films, and it's opened my eyes to different ways of filmmaking, different views from all over the world. And interestingly enough, it makes me really appreciate being able to see film and share conversations with strangers who have the same passion as you. It's been 15 years. I'm not going to stop anytime soon, but this has been a fun ride. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else is out there. What more of the world this festival can bring. I've never been disappointed yet so far. There's a lot of surprises I always expect every year. Never forget these experiences. So I've been going to the Chicago International Film Festival, as I said, for about 15 years covering the event. And I've met not only a lot of film goers, but a lot of actors, filmmakers, directors. And one of the directors whose films have been prominent in the Chicago International Film Festival, at least during the time that I've been attending and even for its history, is director Kore-eda who has had a number of films at the Chicago International Film Festival. And I want to talk a little bit more about it, as he was in attendance for some of the screenings of his films that he's shown over the years. 2 of the films that I saw were After the Storm, that I saw a few years ago, and then Like Father, Like Son, which is one of the Japanese films to make it to number 1 on one of my lists one year for the Chicago International Film Festival in terms of the movies that I've seen. He deals with a lot of films that deal with relationships, especially when it comes to family. And it's one of those things where his films have a very meaningful experience when it comes to family and in terms of the themes of connection. And it's one of those where I always appreciate whenever I see his films, his name in the Chicago International Film Festival list, I look up for what film he has this year and try to see what films there are. Of course, this year he's receiving the Career Achievement Award for his many years here at the Chicago International Film Festival. Hence why the films that he has at the film festival this year are repeats of some of his great classics that he's shown over the years. So it's one of those things, like I said, meeting a lot of different filmmakers, being able to see their art and even speak to them. It's one of those beautiful things. So if you get a chance to check out any of his films, do check it out. So here I am at the 60th Chicago International Film Festival, celebrating 60 years. It still continues to be the longest running competitive film festival in North America. And I'm right here at its main home base at the New City AMC Theater. They also have a lot of venues, just like they did last year, where you could see a lot of the different films, including the Music Box Theater. They also have the Hamilton Park Cultural Center, the Gene Siskel Film Center as well, the Chicago History Museum, the Logan Center for the Arts, as well as the National Museum of Mexican Art to show some of the other films and to expand the viewing options that you have in terms of some of the films. On top of that, they also are still doing streaming service, which reaches out to the neighboring states as well. So if you're not able to attend, you'll be able to purchase passes in order to be able to stream the films online as well. Well, this year is one of the more important ones for me because this is the 15th year that I've been covering straight the Chicago International Film Festival, and being here for its 60th anniversary is a special treat. Now, one of the things that I'm looking forward to this year is a lot of the different films, as usual, from all over the world, a lot of the special presentations, but especially some of the key things to look out for. One of the things that I started doing not too long ago, we're looking at the shorts and being able to review those, see what my thoughts are, especially since those are very unique kind of films to see, grouped up all together, and are a very different format than a lot of the feature-length films that you would normally watch at a movie theater. So let's check out what's going on this year and see if there's any films that we like and see where they rank. Happy 60th anniversary to the Chicago International Film Festival. It's quite a bit I saw this year. Got to enjoy a lot of the films, see, like I do every year, and rank them from least like to most like based on a lot of different factors. And got to meet a lot of different people who love movies. As usual, every year for the past 15 years, I've been enjoying this experience, and I can hope to continue to do more of this going forward. But that about ends the film festival this year. So all I can say is this is Ian Noel Camalotis for Sun Entertainment Media, and thank you for joining me.